What if the reason you feel stuck isn't your circumstances, but your mind? What if the invisible chains holding you back were programmed into you without you even realizing it? Most people spend their lives trapped in the same patterns, waking up each day with the same thoughts, the same emotions, making the same choices. They dream of change, but no matter how hard they try, they slip back into old habits. Sound familiar? Science reveals something astonishing. Your brain isn't wired for success or failure. It's wired for repetition. Your subconscious mind runs 95% of your life operating from past experiences. Every belief, behavior, and reaction is simply a reflection of what you've absorbed. And here's the shocking truth. Unless you reprogram your subconscious, your future will always mirror your past. But what if you could break free? What if you could rewire your brain and create an entirely new reality? Science confirms that you, not someone else, not luck, have the power to reshape your destiny. In this video, we'll uncover why most people stay stuck, the hidden forces controlling your life, and the single method that can set you free for good. And this isn't just theory. It's backed by real neuroscience, real case studies, and real people who have transformed their lives. Those who went from despair to unstoppable joy, from financial struggle to abundance, from illness to complete healing. If you've ever felt trapped, if change has seemed impossible, if you're ready to take control of your life, stay with me until the end. Because what you're about to learn could be the most powerful truth you'll ever hear. Welcome to Mindful Rise, the channel dedicated to unlocking your full potential. If you're ready to transform your mind and build the life you deserve, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Let's begin. Before we explore the process of change, let's dismantle one of the biggest illusions keeping people stuck: the illusion of being broken. Most people believe something is inherently wrong with them. They think they're not smart enough, strong enough, or lucky enough. They believe they lack something: discipline, confidence, talent, something that successful people must have, and this belief is the very thing stopping them from changing. Where did this come from? Why do so many of us feel like we're not enough? The answer lies in how the brain is programmed. From birth, we absorb information from the world around us. We form our identity based on how others treat us: parents, teachers, friends. If we were criticized, we learned self-doubt. If we were rejected, we felt unworthy. If we failed, we feared trying again. And here's the shocking part. By age 7, most of your core beliefs were already formed. You didn't choose them. You inherited them. They were programmed into you by your environment. But here's the truth. They don't tell you. You were never broken. The idea that something is wrong with you is nothing more than a program running in your subconscious. And just like a program, it can be rewritten. Think about it. Every time you tell yourself, "I can't do this, I'm not good enough," or "I'll never change," where does that voice come from? Is it really yours? Or is it an echo of the past, a script written by someone else? Everything you believe about yourself, everything you think you're capable of, is based on a story you've repeated so many times it feels like truth. Think about it. The moment you wake up, your mind starts playing its script. I'm not a morning person. I always mess up. I'm bad at relationships. These aren't facts, they're just stories. Stories that have been reinforced by repetition. And here's what science proves. Your brain doesn't distinguish between reality and the story you tell yourself. It simply believes what you repeat. If you tell yourself you're not smart, your brain filters out any evidence that proves otherwise. If you say you're bad at something, your mind amplifies every mistake, confirming that belief. This is the reticular activating system, RAS, at work, a network in your brain that acts as a filter, deciding what to focus on. Tell yourself, I'm terrible at public speaking, and your brain will highlight every nervous moment to prove you right. But if you shift your story to, I'm learning to speak with confidence, your brain will seek proof of progress instead. Self-perception isn't passive. It actively shapes your reality. If you see yourself as unworthy, you'll unconsciously sabotage opportunities. If you see yourself as weak, you won't even try. But the moment you rewrite your story, everything changes. Before we dive into true freedom, we must expose one of the biggest forces shaping your life: societal expectations. From birth, the world tells you who to be. Parents have their own beliefs, schools have their rules, culture defines success, happiness, and purpose. And without realizing it, you absorb these expectations. Think about it. How many of your choices were made because you genuinely wanted to, and how many were made because you felt you had to? Society gives you a script. Get good grades, find a stable job, get married, buy a house, retire. Follow this and you'll be happy. But what happens when you do everything right and still feel empty? What happens when the path you were given doesn't feel like yours? This is why so many people feel stuck. They have what they were told they needed, yet something is missing. The truth is, societal norms aren't designed for your personal growth. They're designed for conformity. They keep you in a system that benefits from you staying the same. Step outside of it and you risk judgment or rejection. So most people silence their real desires, ignoring that inner voice whispering, there's something more. But here's the problem. When you live by someone else's expectations, you lose yourself. You disconnect from what excites you, from what makes you feel alive. You trade your dreams for a version of life that was never really yours. Think about how this plays out. Maybe you chose a career because it was practical, not because you loved it. Maybe you stayed in a relationship out of obligation, not fulfillment. Maybe you buried your passions just to fit in. And over time, this becomes normal. You convince yourself this is just the way life is. But deep down, something feels off. That's because your soul was never meant to live inside a mold. The breakthrough happens the moment you start questioning societal expectations. You begin to wake up. You realize many of the rules you followed were never real, just inherited beliefs passed down without question. Take success, for example. Society says success is about status, money, and achievements. But is that really true? There are millionaires who are miserable. People who have everything on paper yet feel completely unfulfilled. Or look at happiness. We're told it comes from getting more money, more possessions, more recognition, but research shows the opposite. True happiness comes from meaning, growth, and living in alignment with who you truly are. Breaking free starts with awareness. You must identify which beliefs are truly yours and which were imposed on you. Ask yourself, what beliefs do I hold about success? Where did they come from? What expectations have I been following that don't align with me? If I had no fear of judgment, how would I live my life differently? The answers to these questions can be uncomfortable, but they are necessary. The moment you realize that the limits you've been living under were never real, You gain the power to break free. You don't have to follow the script, live by someone else's definition of success, or fit into a version of life that was never meant for you. When you start challenging these beliefs, rewriting your own story, that's when real transformation happens. That's when you stop living on autopilot and start living with intention. Because at the end of the day, the only expectations that matter are the ones you set for yourself. Before mastering personal growth, we need to address a common misconception. This journey is not a straight line. Most people believe self-improvement works like climbing a staircase, each step taking you higher, always moving forward. But growth is messy, unpredictable, and full of setbacks that make you question everything. How many times have you committed to change, felt motivated, made progress, and then suddenly something knocked you off track? Maybe an old habit crept back in. Maybe self-doubt hit harder than expected. Maybe you fell into the same pattern you swore you had already outgrown. And when that happens, most people assume they've failed, lost all progress, and will never change. But setbacks are not proof of failure. They're proof that you're growing. Neuroscience shows that every time you challenge an old habit, your brain rewires itself. But rewiring takes time. Old pathways don't disappear overnight. They fight to stay alive. That's why change feels like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Even when you think you've transformed, your past can still try to pull you back in. But here's the key. You are not your setbacks. You are not your worst day. What defines you is how you respond when things don't go as planned. Think about someone you admire, an athlete, an entrepreneur, someone who overcame impossible odds. Do you think they got there without setbacks? Do you think they never faced failure, self-doubt, or moments of complete despair? Every successful person has struggled, fallen, questioned themselves, and faced resistance. The difference is, they didn't let it stop them. Resilience separates those who grow from those who stay stuck. It's not about avoiding failure, but about learning to rise every time you fall. Too many people quit when progress slows down. They expect instant results, instant transformation. But growth is a process, a daily commitment to keep going even when it feels like nothing is changing. Look at nature. Trees don't grow overnight. Seasons don't change in a single moment. Everything in life moves in cycles, and your growth is the same. There will be seasons of rapid progress and seasons of stillness. Sometimes it will feel like you're stuck, like nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, transformation is still taking place. This is why self-awareness is crucial. When you hit a setback, don't see it as failure. See it as feedback. Ask yourself, what triggered this setback? What lesson is this moment teaching me? How can I use this to grow stronger? When you start seeing setbacks as part of the journey, they lose their power over you. They stop being roadblocks and become stepping stones. And here's something most people don't realize. You don't have to start over every time you slip. A bad day doesn't erase your progress. The work you've done is still inside you. The lessons you've learned are still shaping you. You haven't gone backward. You're reinforcing what you've already built. This is what true transformation looks like. Not a perfect, flawless journey, but a journey of resilience, a journey where every fall is just another reason to rise stronger, a journey where persistence is the difference between staying stuck and breaking through. Real transformation starts with intention. Most people go through life on autopilot, waking up, following the same routines, reacting to whatever happens, and hoping life will somehow get better. But hope is not a strategy. If you don't set an intention, life will be decided for you by circumstances, by other people, by past conditioning. Intention is the difference between living by default and living by design. It's the conscious decision to direct your energy toward a specific outcome. When you set an intention, you're not just wishing for change, you're commanding your mind and body to align with that vision. Neuroscience confirms this. The brain operates on patterns. If you don't tell it where to focus, it defaults to old habits, fears, and limitations. But when you set a clear intention, you activate your brain's reticular activating system, the part responsible for filtering information. Suddenly, your mind starts noticing opportunities and solutions that were always there but invisible to you before. Think about it. Have you ever decided to buy a new car and suddenly started seeing that model everywhere? It's not that those cars just appeared overnight. They were always there, but now your brain is tuned in. The same happens with your goals. The moment you become clear about what you want, your mind starts working in the background to align your reality with that vision. But intention alone is not enough. You must pair it with the right mindset. Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because their mindset works against them. They want success but believe they're not good enough. They want change but fill their inner dialogue with doubt. Without realizing it, they sabotage their progress. Your beliefs shape your reality. If you believe you are limited, you will live within those limits. If you believe success is for other people, you will never reach it yourself. But the moment you shift your mindset, your world starts to change. This is why some of the most successful people, from athletes to CEOs, spend more time training their minds than anything else. Without the right mindset, no amount of action creates lasting results. Ask yourself, if nothing was holding me back, what would I create in my life? What kind of person do I want to become? What does my ideal future look like? The clearer your vision, the more powerful your intention becomes. And once you have that vision, start aligning your daily actions with it. Most people set big goals, but their actions tell a different story. They want abundance, but focus on lack. They want confidence, but indulge in self-doubt. They want transformation, but repeat the same patterns. The key is to become intentional with every decision you make. If you want to be healthier, make choices like a healthy person would. If you want financial freedom, think and act like someone who has already achieved it. If you want inner peace, stop engaging in negativity and self-sabotage. And here's the most powerful part. When you set an intention and align your mindset with it, you begin to attract circumstances that match that energy. This isn't just philosophy, it's physics. Energy attracts like energy. Your thoughts and emotions send signals that the universe responds to. When you think and feel from a place of possibility, doors open. When you operate from limitation, those doors remain closed. Every extraordinary achievement comes from stepping into discomfort. Think about a muscle. It only grows when it's challenged. Your mind works the same way. Growth happens when you push beyond fear, take risks, and challenge your limits. Remember the first time you did something new? It felt overwhelming, maybe even terrifying. But over time, what once seemed impossible became second nature. That's how growth works. The things that scare you today will become the things that empower you tomorrow if you face them. Discomfort isn't a sign something is wrong, it's a sign something is changing. It means you're breaking through old conditioning and stepping into a new version of yourself. So are you willing to get uncomfortable, to have tough conversations, take risks, make mistakes, and step into the unknown? Because if you wait for growth to feel comfortable, you'll wait forever. The most successful people didn't avoid discomfort, they embraced it. Athletes push through exhaustion, entrepreneurs take financial risks, and leaders make difficult decisions. Every great achievement is built on moments of discomfort, yet most people avoid it, choosing comfort over growth, safety over possibility, and then they wonder why they feel stuck. Growth happens in the moments you want to quit. When you push through fear, take the leap, and prove to yourself that you are capable. The more you do this, the stronger you become. Discomfort turns into fuel. The unknown becomes your playground, because everything you want, every dream, every breakthrough is waiting just beyond your comfort zone. But transformation isn't just about mindset. Your environment shapes your growth more than you realize. You can have the strongest ambitions, but if you're surrounded by people who don't support your growth, you'll stay stuck. Humans are wired for connection, and your community influences your beliefs, habits, and potential. If you're around people who complain, doubt, and settle, you'll absorb that energy. Your ambitions will feel smaller. But if you surround yourself with those who inspire and challenge you, growth becomes your new normal. Successful people prioritize their circle because they know the people around them will either elevate them or hold them back. So ask yourself, who do I spend the most time with? Do they challenge me or reinforce my limitations? Do they push me to think bigger, take action, and grow? If not, it's time to change your environment. Seek out spaces where growth is the standard. Mastermind groups, events, books, podcasts, and mentors who expand your thinking. Transformation accelerates when you're surrounded by the right people. And here's the truth. Growth isn't just about what you gain, but also what you give. When you support, uplift, and contribute to others, your own transformation deepens. You don't rise alone, you rise with the people around you. And finally, real change doesn't happen overnight. It's not about waiting for a massive breakthrough, it's about small, consistent steps. Most people think they need a perfect plan before they start, but that's a lie. Change isn't a single leap. It's built through daily choices. You don't wake up one day as a different person. You become that person through small, intentional actions. So, where do you start? First, get clear on what you want. Most people drift through life reacting to circumstances instead of creating their future. If you want change, define it. What do you truly want? What is no longer serving you? Who do you need to become? Write it down. Clarity gives your mind direction. Next, set small, achievable goals. Massive goals can feel overwhelming. Instead of changing everything at once, start small. If you want to get healthier, drink more water, move for 10 minutes, or cut one unhealthy habit. If you want confidence, start by speaking up once, making eye contact, or shifting your self-talk. Every small win builds momentum. Then reflect daily. Most people repeat the same patterns because they never take the time to understand them. If you want change, ask yourself, what habits keep showing up? What beliefs are holding me back? How did I show up today? And how can I improve tomorrow? Awareness is the first step to breaking old cycles. Finally, protect your environment. You can't create a new life while staying in an old mindset. Surround yourself with people, information, and conversations that challenge and inspire you. Because at the end of the day, success isn't about luck. It's about building the right habits, making the right choices, and surrounding yourself with the right people. Expose yourself to higher levels of thinking. Read books that challenge your perspective. Listen to podcasts that inspire action. Seek mentors who have already walked the path you want to take. Because the more you immerse yourself in greatness, the faster you'll transform. The next step, take action, imperfect action. Waiting until you're ready is a trap. Readiness is an illusion. Fear will always try to hold you back, but clarity comes from action, not overthinking. The moment you move, fear begins to lose its grip. So take that first step, even if it's small. Because confidence isn't built by thinking, it's built by doing. And above all, stay consistent. Transformation isn't a one-time event. It's a daily decision. Some days will be easy, others will test you. But real change happens in the moments when you want to quit, when self-doubt creeps in, when progress feels invisible, when your old habits try to pull you back. Those are the moments that define you. Keep going anyway. Look at the proof. Jim Carrey, once a struggling comedian, wrote himself a $10 million check for acting services rendered. He carried it for years, taking relentless action until it became real. Was it luck? No, it was vision, belief, and persistence. Or take Sarah, an ordinary woman stuck in fear. She dreamed of starting a business but let self-doubt hold her back, until she decided to start anyway. It wasn't easy, she failed, she doubted. But she kept going. 2 years later, she was making more than she ever did in her 9-to-5 job. And then there's Nelson Mandela, 27 years in prison, 27 years where he could have given up, but he didn't. Instead, he used that time to sharpen his mind, refine his vision, and prepare for the moment he would change history. Different people, different paths, same truth. Your mind shapes your reality. So here's the question. What will you do with this knowledge? Will you keep waiting for the perfect moment? Or will you decide that today is the day you take control? Your journey won't be perfect. There will be doubts. There will be struggles. But every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to the life you're meant to live. If this message resonated with you, let us know in the comments. And if you're ready to step into your power, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Mindful Rise, and turn on notifications. Because your future isn't built by chance, it's built by choice.